What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. Now today we're going to be talking about one of the baddest, most dangerous strand weapons on the market inside of Destiny, the circular logic machine gun in our heavy slot. Now this thing comes from Neomuna, is not craftable, but has some banger rolls on it. Specifically, in my opinion, I love this thing. Has used it a lot inside of the PvE realm, specifically for that end game and strand synergy. Super nice with the roll I have on it. My opinion is a 4 out of 5 God Roll, missing one single perk, but we're going to go over all that for PvP, PvE with you guys as well, so let's get right into it. So first right here for our origin trait on this bad boy, we have nanotech tracer rockets. Landing multiple hits turns your next shot into a homing rocket. So this right here, very good in the PvE realm. You definitely don't get it as much in PvP because you're destroying enemies before this gets to proc because it shreds. But inside of that PvE realm, those little homing rockets add to this thing's crazy potential for damage, as well as add clear and that strand synergy in general. Now, when we get into our PvP role, building this thing out for stability and handling easily, the range, in my opinion, is good enough to compete. Plus, this thing bounces around a lot, so that stability is important. Not as much as handling, so you can switch onto it, but stability definitely important, hence why we're going with fluted barrel. Now, for me, ricochet rounds usually as always, but even in more so this case because we get that plus 10 to stability, plus 5 range, which helps as well. But like I said, this thing definitely a bouncy boy, so we're going with that stability. Now when we move on to our third column, we really don't have that much that's good for PvP. Most of them are PvE perks in my opinion, so we're going with Feeding Frenzy, which gives us that reload speed on defeats. So maybe if you pick up a couple bricks, this could come in handy, but overall, this is definitely more of a PvE perk as well, but we don't have anything else in the slot like I said. Now, in my opinion, we have two options here for the PvP realm in this last column. We have Target Lock, just like on that Immortal, which gives us that damage increase the longer our weapon remains on a target, which as you can see, getting that boy to stack up to 5, you can get a 40% increase to damage, but you have to continuously be doing that damage, so definitely a good thing for PvP. It can absolutely shred like I said. Now you could also go with Eye of the Storm right here. This weapon becomes more accurate and boosts that handling as your health gets low. So when you're in those gunfights, you'll be able to switch off and on this weapon a little bit faster. Plus it becomes a laser beam and takes that bounce out of the game. Like I said, this thing is very bouncy. So my opinion, I'm going with Feeding Frenzy and Eye of the Storm a little bit over that Target Lock because this thing shreds anyways. Target Lock might help a little bit for those supers, something like that, but Eye of the Storm, definitely more practical in my opinion. Now when we move on to PvE, we have a couple different choices in our third and fourth column as well, but definitely building this thing out for that recoil stability and that reload on this bad boy. So we're going with Chambered Compensator first for that stability, and recoil at plus 10 gives us minus 5 to handling, which doesn't matter to me inside of the PvE realm. Now when we move on to our second column and magazines, definitely going with Appended Mag, so we get plus 9 to our magazine size without giving us a negative to reload like Extended Mag does. So this thing has a 50 reload base stat, which is insane because some auto rifles have that as well. It is so fast for a powerful weapon in that machine gun, so definitely want this Appended Mag so you don't get a negative to your reload speed. Now again, in our third column, we got two different options. The first option you have is Feeding Frenzy, like I said before, gives you that nice reload speed increase for those rapid defeats, stacking up to ×5 as well. So it's nice to continuously for that ad clear, whatever it may be, and reload faster, but not as good for damage in my personal opinion. Now, me personally, this is my God Roll perk inside of Envious Assassin. Rapidly defeating targets with other weapons before drawing transfers ammo to the magazine from reserves. This overflows the magazine based on the number of defeats, and let me tell you, it is insane because the magazine capacity per kill goes up by 20% for these power weapons. So this thing is able to hold so many bullets inside of the magazine when it gets overflowed. It is absolutely gnarly at juicing for damage with pairing it with something like Vorpal in the next column, but I personally have an even more effective perk which pairs wonderfully with Envious Assassin, and it's definitely my God Roll. That perk that I am talking about is Hatchling. Precision final blows or rapidly defeating targets with non-precision final blows spawns threadlings at the target's location. So the strand synergy of this and that add clear potential with strand builds suspend, causing all of that with unraveling rounds and those little scatters going around. It is absolutely insane to me. Envious Assassin with over 200 bullets in the magazine plus Hatchling is so gnarly in the PvE realm. Now you could also go with Vorpal Envious Assassin if you want, so you can get that nice 10% increase on damage for these heavy weapons against bosses, vehicles, guardians, and their super. But I personally rather would have Hatchling, but this right here is nice for that extra 10% in DPS. In my opinion, still would go Hatchling. And last but not least, for the PvE rolls, you could also go with Demolitionist in this last column. Pairing that with Feeding Frenzy Demolitionist would be an absolute nasty combo for PvE when you're trying to spam grenades. So might be a good combo with something like your Warlock and Swarmers, so you can get your Swarmer grenades back super quickly with this build. Keep popping them for those threadlings, something along those lines. But like I said, that is a third option with Vorpal and Hatchling. Personally, I'm going with Envious Assassin and Hatchling as my God Roll for those two perks. So hopefully y'all can go out there to Neomuna, grind those public events, do lost sectors, do your overload chest, etc., and get one of these God Roll circular logics. Very good Strand LMG, very good with that synergy, like I said, Hatchling, and one of my favorite weapons to use this season. So thank you guys again for that support. Truly appreciate it. I really do. And if you guys like the videos, God Rolls, builds for the Strand, anything that we have on the channel, just don't be afraid to subscribe, hit that bell, come back for more so y'all don't miss any of these videos and updates. So thank y'all again. Truly appreciate it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.